someone wrote in and asked about cast iron. So today's video is about seasoning and caring for your cast iron skillets and pans. So let's talk a little bit about cast iron. It's the only cookware that's never going to wear out. It's never going to need to be replaced. This pan right here was my grandmother's. She gave it to me when I was 19 years old. I'm 54 now. And she had it for, she estimated 22 years before she gave it to me. Still use it, still good, never going to wear out. Okay, so when you think about your Teflon skillets, that the Teflon starts cracking and flaking and scratching off, then you have to replace it because that Teflon is toxic once it starts doing that. Those pans have a life cycle, right? Not cast iron. Buy it, keep it well seasoned, take care of it. Even if you don't do that, it's still going to last forever. All you have to do is wash it, scrub it up real good, and season it again. I don't care how many years you have left it to rust and rot. It's not going to. You just have to clean it, season it, and use it again. So you can use it on the stovetop, you can use it in the oven, you can use it on the campfire. It's really, really versatile. And one other thing is, if you need iron in your diet, cast iron's the way to go, because the food that you cook in there, the iron is going to kind of absorb into it, and you're going to get added beneficial iron in your diet just from cooking with a cast iron. And I say that because that's also a warning. If you have had your blood tested and for some odd reason you are not processing your foods right, and that's the only way I could assume this would ever happen, and you're getting too much iron, then you don't want to use cast iron, okay? Or you might want to use one that's like enamel coated, which I still don't recommend those because that enamel's going to wear off and you're going to have to replace it. And I like cast iron because you never have to replace it. It's always going to be good. So when you first get it, even if it says that it's pre-seasoned, scrub it really, really good with soap. And this is what you're going to use always to scrub your cast iron. And if you look on the package, what's right on there? Yep, cast iron skillet. So you're going to use stainless steel little scrubbies. And what I do, sorry for that noise right there by the microphone, is I keep one of these in a little berry bowl right by my sink. And a berry bowl is just with the old china. It's just a tiny little bowl. It's a whole berries. But I put one of these little scrubbies right in there, and it just sits on my kitchen sink. So it's always ready to go to clean these babies up. So wash it really good that first time with soap, okay, and your scrubby. And then you're going to coat it in oil. And for me, the absolute best oil to use is flaxseed oil. Keep this in the refrigerator because oil will go rancid, especially if it's sitting out. That's all I use this for because I'm on a no oil diet. So the only thing I use this for is taking care of my cast iron. So it doesn't get used a lot. It stays in the refrigerator so that I know it's not going to go off, okay? So coat it really good with your oil. And then the very, very first time that you do this to actually season it is turn it upside down, and you're going to coat top, bottom, sides, every bit of these pans because you don't want them to rust. That's what you're doing, is preventing the rust. Okay? Then turn the pan upside down so that any excess can just drip off, and put some kind of pan under it, you know, to catch that oil in your oven. And then set it at 375 degrees and set it for 1 hour. And then that will season your pan. And you'll do that periodically, just, you know, every few years, or if somehow someone has forgotten and they have scratched your surface, or they put soap in it, then you'll want to re-season it. But to be honest, look at that shine. If you never ever use soap and you just scrub it with hot water and a scrubby, you're good to go. You won't have to do that very often at all. And then to dry the pan, after you have washed it with hot water and your scrubby, put your oil in it, coat it with oil again, and then just put it on your stove and turn your burner on. And you'll start to see just a little bit of smoke, and you'll know that the surface is dry, and then turn it off. And then once it cools down, put your pan away. And that's all there is to taking care of cast iron. There's oil all over my hands. Now I have one of these, hope you can see this. This is a silicone handle cover. And you can see a little bit of rust in there from where I've just stored pans. And I just put it on whichever pan I'm using, and then I never ever burn myself. And then this particular one is really heavy and really big. This is my biggest one. And so I'll just put a pot holder on this other side if I have to lift it up. So I think I've covered everything. So you season it the first time. You only wash it with hot water and a scrubby after you have used it. Use flaxseed oil and just, you know, napkin, paper towel, whatever, and put the oil on there, coat the whole thing, turn on your burner, let it sit, and that will dry it after you've washed it. And you're good to go. The only drawback is if for some reason you have too much iron in your diet and you want to, you know, lay off the cast iron for a bit, because it is a good way to get iron if you need iron. Okay? If you have any questions, just, you know, put them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Have a good day, guys.